Good morning, BookTube. It's me, Juan, just one reader, and we are continuing on with my reading vlog for The Secret Commonwealth by Philip Pullman, just before the third installment in the trilogy comes out this October. Okay, so this is going to be a very chaotic, very casual, not professional at all video. It's going to be handheld because I'm just freely associating. So I will be thinking out loud and just expressing my thoughts as I go along, so I apologize for the weirdness and also for my appearance. At least my curls are nice and moist and defined. And I need this nasal strip because otherwise I won't be able to breathe and I will just keel over and die in front of you. And you don't want to see that, do you? I don't know. Anyway, so The Secret Commonwealth. So, where am I? Right now, I'm checking in. I'm on page 436. I still have a good 200 pages left to go, so I still have some big journey ahead of me. And this is a literal journey. This book is literally about Lyra's journey. I won't really spoil anything. I won't say what the journey entails or where she's going, because I think that's part of the big mystery that I am enjoying so much about this book, and that makes the book so enjoyable. It's that journey, that mystery, that kind of you want to know what's going to happen and where she's going, and everything that happens along this long journey that Lyra is taking to this mystical, enigmatic, mysterious place. It's so weird, and either you'll love it or you'll hate it. So I'm starting to see now why this book can be so polarizing, because it is very different to what you immediately think of when you think of historical materials. This certainly feels like Philip Pullman is just really going for it. For the first time in forever, for the first time, I feel like Philip Pullman is just like not being as subtle in terms of some of his views and some of his criticisms and opinions about religion and institutionalized, religion and the church and all of that. I just read a scene, like the chapter that I just read, this morning, which which prompted me to to film this video right now. That chapter was so shocking and so bold. It was not subtle, but at the same time, I appreciate that he's just going for it. I really like that he's daring. Um, Pullman is like going in a direction that feels very, very bold, very in your face in terms of criticizing the church and being very overt about that. Like I mean, no spoilers, but what I just read felt like it was like it could have been written by Dan Brown, which but better, but like well executed, like really beautifully written. But it felt like this book is feeling very Dan Brownish in terms of, yeah, now that I think of it, it does. It feels very Dan Brownish in terms of it's a political thriller, and there's religious and political machinations and intrigue going on. It feels very much like a movie. It feels almost like Pullman is writing a screenplay of sorts, kind of. There's multiple characters. When he started doing this multiple character thing, like around page 200, I did feel the book started to get a little slower, and I was worried at first that that's like that was gonna be kind of hard to keep track of all the characters and plot lines and places and settings. Like every character has a mission or some kind of quest or thing that they're trying to achieve, and so it can be a little, it can be not necessarily jarring, but it can be a little confusing at first, and then it also goes into a slower kind of rhythm, but now that I'm on page 430 something, it's very easy to keep track of everything and everyone, and it just feels like a movie. But yeah, I can see why some people are not as in love with this book as I am. I really like it. I really think that even though it's not as subtle as his Dark Materials was, or La Belle Sauvage was, in terms of criticizing the church and all of that, like it's very overt now. Still, I think the book is really mature. Like, this is not for children anymore. La Belle Sauvage was kind of treading that fine line. It's a fine, fine line. It was treading that kind of fine line between middle grade fiction, young adult fiction, and kind of really adult themes and like we had rape and abuse and a lot of things. But here, like this is really something else. This is adult fiction. This is not even young adult. This is not YA by any stretch of the imagination. Let me tell you. But I like that. I really, really like that. I would still entrust children or some children to read this potentially. This is a book that I would have loved reading as a 10-year-old. I would have absolutely devoured this, and I think nothing bad, nothing wrong would have happened. I would just be as crazy as I am today still. Like, yeah. I really think that children should read pretty much whatever they think they should read and they want to read. So I would have loved to read this. But yeah, the themes in here are so interesting philosophically, in terms of religion, in terms of reality. For me, as a psychoanalyst, there are some parallelisms or parallels between the nature of reality, psychic reality, conscious fantasy, unconscious fantasy. These are concepts and ideas that are really present in my own thinking and practice as a psychoanalyst. And I think, in a way, Pullman is exploring those same things, not in a psychoanalytical way, but in using, his narrative devices in this world. We really get to explore Lyra's mind and how she, now that she is 20 years of age, how she's dealing with reality and her ideas and what she what she values and what she identifies as and what she wants to be and how she makes sense of the world and herself. And of course, the big idea in this book is like the central focal point, I think, is this idea of the connection between demons and their humans. I think it's also a kind of metaphor, I guess, for relationships in general. And it's recording. Okay. Hello, I'm back. It's been a week, I think, since I last checked in. It's been an interesting week. I have reached page 592, so I am 31 chapters in. It took me a week because the book certainly feels slower. It's not a criticism, at least not to me. I don't think that's a bad or a negative criticism to make. I think the book just has a deliberate pace, it has a different kind of rhythm. If you compare this to his Dark Materials, which is much more action packed, I guess, if you compare this to La Belle Sauvage, La Belle Sauvage really was more, it felt more like an adventure, like a quest. And here, even though there are many quests going on at the same time, and we have characters and subplots and going on different missions and doing different things and talking to different sorts of people, there's a lot going on in this book, but at the same time, it just feels more deliberately paced. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna say that this book is perfect. I have spotted some mistakes in terms of the editing. Like, you can see that how could an editor not check this, or correct this, or just change this? Like, there are some like very, very specific things I've noticed in terms of like phrases or adverbs, adjectives,
certain things in the writing that are repeated throughout the book in a way that makes me feel like you can see this book is not as heavily edited, and it was a little clumsily put together in my humble opinion. I might be wrong. I might be a pretentious asshole. I think I am. I think it's safe to say at this point, you are, Juan. You are a pretentious asshole. Just embrace it, submit and surrender. This is who you are, and it's okay because this is a great book. I'm really, really liking it because it's just bold. I think bold is the best descriptor word that I can find for this book thus far. I still have like 40 pages left to go, so I think the conclusion is coming up, and that's why I wanted to record my thoughts right now before I finish the book. I think I will be finishing it today or tomorrow, hopefully, if I can squeeze some reading time into my schedule. But so far, it's a book of ideas. It's a book more of ideas than characters or plot. I'm fine with that, but I can see why, to so many readers out there, this book is not a good read. It is a challenging read, it's a bold read. Philip Pullman is just not holding back. I mean, he's never really held back, but right now he's like really not caring. He's just like throwing everything at the wall, and I'm here for it. The book is dark. La Belle Sauvage was dark as well, but it's a book that I could even recommend to some children or some younger readers. This one, no. This is dark. Like this is adult fiction, adult fiction, whatever. This is dark, gruesome. I'm still the kind of person who would recommend it to children or to young people because I think they should read it as well and they will be better off for it. But yeah, this is dark. This is very, very dark, and it's not afraid. It's not afraid of anything. Um, yeah, the book makes me think a lot of Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix because it has this kind of gloomy, dreadful, melancholy, weird desperation at its core, which is great. I think it's great because Pullman is really exploring that kind of separation between Lyra and Pantalaimon, among other things. There's a lot of things going on here, politically, religiously, that I really applaud. And I cannot believe, like, there's been parts of this book where I'm like, I can't believe I'm reading this. I cannot believe Philip Pullman has gone there. Like he's really going there. He wrote this. He wrote this scene. I'm loving this. But it is a book that is not as accessible or as friendly to read as his previous work. This actually has a lot of his Sally Lockhart mysteries type of writing in it. It has a lot of thrills. It has a lot of amazing action sequences and like really gruesome, violent scenes that are just spectacularly written. Like some set pieces, I would say, that are really, really great. So that I think that's all I'm gonna say so far. There's been a few instances in the book where I do feel like it's been repetitive, not necessarily to the point of being boring. I'm not bored by anything in this book. I've never been bored. However, I can see how for some people it could be considered a slow paced, even boring kind of book, difficult to slug through. That's not the case for me. I just think this is more reflective and thought provoking, and it's a book to really ponder ponder about and like really think about, and it's just a different kind of book, and I'm here for it. I want to see how it ends. So yeah, I think I'm gonna stop here and I'm gonna report back when I am done. There was a time when I flew higher. It was a time the wild boy running free would be me. Now I see him feel the fire. Now I know he needs me there to share. I'm nowhere. All these blank and tranquil years, seems they've dried up all my tears. And while he runs free and fast, it seems my wild days are past. But I miss the mountains. I miss the dizzy heights, all those manic magic days and the dark depressing nights. I miss the mountains. I miss the highs and lows, all the climbing, all the falling, all the wild wind blows, stinging you with snow and soaking you with rain. I miss the mountains. I miss the pain. Mountains make you crazy. Here it's safe and sound. My mind is somewhere hazy. My feet are on the ground. Everything is balanced here and on an even keel. Everything is perfect. But nothing's real. Nothing's real, and I miss the mountains. I miss the lonely climb, wandering through the wilderness and spending all my time where the air is clear and cuts you like a knife. I miss the mountains. I miss the mountains. I miss my life.